Hello, beautiful people. That's the long awaited podcast We Care on the burning topic of mental health among young people. So, we are having a question and answer session plus a discussion with four amazing young people from Romania and Ukraine. My name is Julia and I represent Ukraine.
Hello, this is Anastasia from Romania.
My name is Maya, I'm from Ukraine as also.
My name is Marisa and I'm also from Romania.
So we are having some questions on the table. We don't know who is taking what, so it's gonna be a spontaneous Q&A session. And I think I will start with one. So I took the first question and this is: do you think physical and mental health are interconnected? Okay, so first of all, this is a very personal session, so all the answers that we are giving are from our own perspective. In my perspective, yes, the physical and mental health are interconnected in the way that if I'm having a bad day, probably my body will feel it too, and it happened to me several times before. So I think that mental health usually influences the physical health. Like you can heal it in your body, and your body feels the way you are thinking. That's why what we are thinking is so important, because it influences us, and I think it also influences people around us.
I would also like to add that we are talking about that body has a memory.
Yeah.
And for example, if you're every time feeling triggered sometimes and you don't feel physically in the closer future, sometimes in trigger moment, your body start to be, for example, sick, you have some headache and you even can't understand this feeling, but your body has this memory and it feel that it's important now to show my anxious.
Mm-hmm. And I think it goes the other direction as well. If you are not feeling okay with your body, then the mind, if it's not strong enough, it can go into overthinking, it can make it even worse. So a good balance between them is ideal.
I totally agree with that, and I also think that the mental and physical well-beings are connected in a way that to fulfill your mental health and well-being can be reached through some physical practices. For example, a workout or some physical coping mechanisms can definitely contribute to the way that you feel better mentally.
Yeah, and during the physical activities, your mental health is improving because you give some dopamines, other important hormones for your body, dopamine, adrenaline. There are a lot of other examples, and it's all connected.
Okay, so my turn. What would you include in a successful youth project? What would I include? Well, I liked a lot the emotional crisis training, where we can learn how to react to someone who is having a hard time, or how can we control ourselves, because I had this problem with controlling my emotions. I had really bad emotional outbursts, and I think that helped me. I mean, I would include that in a mental health project. I think it's so important. I mean, if we cannot control ourselves, our lives goes downhill.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. We appreciate that.
Okay, my turn. So the question is, what does mental health mean to you? So for me, I think it's like main point in my life, because all your life it's about your mental health, and even if you maybe have a happy environment, good friends, very supporting family, sometimes person can feel that his or her mental health is okay. So it's important to understand your emotions, because there are a lot of examples when we can maybe thinks that all people have so cool life, he's traveling a lot, or just have a lot of friends, have a lot of fun, but this person can't feel okay because he doesn't understand his mental health. So for me, it's a first point to take into account doing everything, doing studying, doing your personal life. For example, even we have a relationship, sometimes if person doesn't develop his or her mental health, this relationship can be also failed. And it can be in the different files of life. Just starting with your physical health and relationship, your career, all your like main points in your life. So for me, it's the central topic that then we are talking about it a lot in our society for now.
And I like that you mentioned the social media illusion, that we are seeing a lot of perfect lives there.
Yeah.
But of course, it's important not to compare with them, but to compare with ourselves from the past and to see the little improvements that we are doing every day.
Yeah, I also want to add that for me personally, personally, I think social media is a very superficial place. In general, it's very artificial, it shows only the good side, and I feel lonely when I spend so much time on it, because when I'm not socializing, I'm looking at pictures, I'm looking at various quotes that make me overthink or doubt maybe, and have intrusive thoughts, and this is a very toxic platform.
I agree. So for me, mental health is how to protect you from such kind of activities, external activities from your life. So it's how to be yourself and how to present yourself in the society and in your social media also. So
yeah, that's why it's important to limit your time on it and take care of your own well-being.
I think if we start the topic of social media, we
not continue.
We will not ever end this, so
we'll never
better
finish.
get to the next question.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one says, what does it say?
What do you do to nurture your mental health?
Oh, so this one, well, this is a good one. It's kind of interconnected with the previous question. So I believe that mental health is a crucial part of our well-being, and we really need to nurture it just as we do with our body. So, but it's an important thing that body can easily signal when it needs to be nurtured or it needs to, be helped or whatever. So for me, nurturing mental health, it's first of all to understand when you are having some problems and when you need to get some help. And to do that, personally, I just need to be isolated from people, from society for some period of time to recharge my social battery, to feel my body, to feel my, inner self, and understand what problem I'm having. And this is the only way for me to understand how to deal with it later.
That is the importance of the me time, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important sometimes to be outside with the nature, because if you're in a very comfortable zone for you, sometimes you can't understand what's going on. And when you're going outside, maybe also add some physical activities, just walking, going, listening to your favorite music, you can understand deeply what's going on, because as we had our practice like to we say it meditational emotion, when we understand what's noise around, what smells. When you are outside, you can more clearly understand where are you now, in what country, in what surrounding, in what whole important things that surround you.
Thank you. The next question: is it easier for you to overcome your problems in your own with help? Ooh, that's a good one, and I also think that they are interconnected. Like, okay, some problems I can deal with them by myself, and maybe it's better like this, to not hurt other people and to not show a part of myself that I don't want to show to the world. But if the problems are bigger, or if there is something that I cannot handle anymore, of course that some help is welcomed. And we can talk about help from friends, help from family, but also help from a professional.
For sure.
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, there is this thing that people are afraid to ask for help, and they think it's a weakness. But as you said, when it gets hard, you cannot do everything on your own, and it's no shame in that.
And this is also connected with the previous question in which you mentioned to know your limits, and this is also important here to know when to ask for help. Yeah.
And I would like to add that if we're talking about external help, sometimes people are going to their friends, and it's so important to have friends that understand your background.
Yeah.
Because if, for example, it's like your new acquaintances and they don't understand deeply your lifestyle, your problem, your childhood, sometimes they even don't understand. They give some very stereotypical and not so powerful and understandable advice, like just be happy, I don't know, don't take care about it.
Just
we
background
can go out, you will forget about everything. But if person is real close to you, he can understand all your background, all your deep emotions, and can really have some good advice just to motivate you. Said, you're my close friends, I know everything will be okay, you deserve it. Just very good motivation and support.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. Have you ever experienced burnout? Yeah, actually more than burnout. It was a really, really bad state when I couldn't imagine myself doing anything or having no energy in general to even get out of bed or take a shower or do the things I do normally. I just lost interest. I actually thought about my life a lot, and I couldn't even see something further than the state that I'm in. I couldn't see further that. I was just consumed by the state, and I think that is generally burnout.
Yeah, maybe we should not think of burnout coming only from work, but also it can be burnout from studies, burnout from, I don't know,
And you're from your own thoughts.
social connections and so on. So I think it comes in various forms.
Maybe you give some advice how to overcome this kind of depression, anxiety. Maybe you can share it.
Well, I did a lot of things to help myself get out of this state. And I actually, for me, it helps me a lot to journal and write my feelings in the same exact moment where I feel them, not when I'm happy or when I'm like literally having fun, because that I'm not deep. Mm-hmm. When I'm feeling bad, I just open my journal and say what's bothering me and what can be done. And I also, I'm involved in many things. I just love volunteering. I didn't know it was such a good influence over me. And going to concerts and singing, I love singing. And that helps me. It's like a form of therapy for me. And I think the most important advice I could give is to know yourself and find what you like and let it just consume you. Let yourself be consumed by good things that feed your soul.
Wow. Thank you a lot for the really powerful advice. That was really empowering.
Yeah, and I think it's so important, as you said, to find your personal way, because now we have a lot of information about how to overcome stress, a lot of practices, a lot of advice from different people, and of course, you can be a different person with different background, with a different type of your mental health, type of your personality. And sometimes it's more important, for example, to include more physical activities, or as you said, to be in volunteering, to share with people. Sometimes people are more introvert. It's not important to communicate with someone. So it's important to find from this a lot of information something for you.
Just to reflect on yourself, to see what you like, see what you want to do when you're in that state. Feel yourself, let yourself feel your feelings, most importantly. If you don't have the energy now, you can do it later. You can just lay down now and take a nap and then wake up and see what you're gonna do about it.
Sure.
Yeah. else.
Okay, so thank you everyone for contributing to this Q&A session, and don't forget to take care of your mental health. Bye bye.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast was created as part of the Erasmus Plus funded project We Care Mental Health in European Youth Work. For more information, check out our Instagram page, WeCare.Erasmus.